There they go. They are strategizing. They're strategizing. The protein shake business. Free shakes. Free shakes for paid and female employee victims. There we go. That's where the attacks are being prearranged. Right there. 5135 West 24th Street, Laramie, Cicero, Illinois, 60204. Second floor hideout. And of course, the high frequencies continue. This is to manipulate me to respond electronically, of course. Ex-wife should be arriving from Mexico. And obviously, the attacks continue. That is Homeowner Martinez, brand new vehicle. Paid incentives for his contribution to the game of manipulation, daily plan attacks, entrapment, state fraud, mental health hospital, inpatient entrapment. There you go. And other than that, well, we're going to be waiting for this guy, 5132. He should be serving customers very shortly. Indoor, outdoor, recreational facility, golf course. There is the gray truck right there. 5132. If you guys want to make a difference, please contact Internal Revenue Services, the IRS. Post the date, January 8th, 2025. I filled the petition with a tax preparer, tax evasion. Okay? And the most recent one, well, obviously, this is Nello Greco and his nephew, Anthony J. Loader, at 5132 West 24th Street, Laramie, Cicero, Illinois, 60204. The most recent one is incriminating our current mayor, Larry Dominic, a disregard for public safety, a misuse of power, and a misuse of hardworking taxpayers' emergency revenue funds. Filed the petition with a tax preparer June 10th, Wednesday, 2026 year. And based on May 1st, 2026, Friday at 6:17 p.m. and February 27th, 2026, Friday as well at 3 p.m. Okay? So this is an excessive show of force by town assistant officials, the building department, Department of Public Health, and Department of Public Works. All town and city officials involved in criminal activity of this sort, state fraud, mental health hospital, inpatient entrapment. And other than that, the physical attacks continue. And as you can see, a lot of role playing is being done by Carlos and Letty clientele. They simply get a free shake, and they're instructed to park here and play the victim and wait for me to go outside and engage. And they will call the police, and the police officers, in my case, Sergeant Porter, badge number 2255, right forearm tattoo, waiting, standing by, set up traps, false police reports, arrests, court dates, order protection, document a history of mental health issue illness once I respond to the bright light harassment. Obviously, all the windows are covered up. Ex-wife should be arriving very shortly. Okay, so remember, they are depending on the windows to remain covered up. As you can see, this is the big game plan. The police officers are waiting in the area. Okay, they're waiting for my ex-wife to arrive from Mexico, which should be shortly. And that's where the bright light harassment is coming from. Like that. Okay? So, this is one of their main strategizing that is taking place right next door, 5135, to manipulate the victim to respond and have the victim documented to avoid long-term electronic harassment, secondary health issues, or radiation levels. To avoid any association or blame if something happens to me electronically. See that? And of course, here in the kitchen as well. Everything is well boarded up. And let's check over here. I was also attacked while grocery shopping at this location. A show of force once again. Sirens, blinking, the sirens and the lights turned on, and the vehicles were driving circles around me, okay? And we got the police officers trying to engage with me, okay? They also barricaded a street and trying to engage with me, and I stayed long enough to see the police officer making a lot of phone calls because a lot of people were complaining. This is a safety concern, and obviously the street was closed off. No one can come in or out. Very similar to the U.S. Marshal fake catch and release February 27, 2026. The strategy is to manipulate the victim to respond. Electronic harassment and community gang stalking, and the police department trying to provoke some type of reaction and response. The fire department and the paramedics are standing by for documentation purposes. And remember, when I left to go grocery shopping, all my windows stayed covered up. So this is their intent. And as far as the physical attacks, well, they're waiting for me outside. Once I'm attacked, the Martinez family have been instructed to stay away. That's how I know that the physical attacks are being implemented and prearranged. Because when my ex-wife returns back from Mexico, obviously, or my son from work, they're going to be asking what happened to Miguel Rodriguez Jr. And obviously, they're going to have an alibi. We do not know. We weren't home. We were at a restaurant and so forth. Okay, so this is called making sure no loose ends, and that's the reason why the mob, Board of Education District 89 female employee, is involved to make sure they cover up the paper trail. Okay, this is a murder plot, and it's being well thought of, and that's the reason I'm being subjected to lethal high-level frequencies and electromagnetic field waves. Very traumatic to the brain and body. Bone cancer, tumors of the brain, brain hemorrhaging, tumors, brain cancer, and of course, silent incoherent victims, Nursing home final phase, identity theft Medicaid takes place. Organized crime family process, okay? So, and my ex-wife also has been manipulated to respond once I placed the safety latch to avoid family conflict, of course. You can clearly see how she damaged the door very severely. You can see that is life-threatening hits that's hitting the door was life-threatening right there. Okay, so obviously, Thomasville Mayor Larry Dominic and Thomasville officials capitalized on this by immediately deploying the Department of Public Health. Okay, even though I'm the victim, they're trying to get some type of reaction and response from me and my my ex-wife, so they can engage. Okay, this is a solid oak door, and obviously, and this is the weapon that she used. It's a garden tool, but it's a very lethal one. Okay, all right. So that's pretty much it. I really don't see any activity, but you can see the intent behind it. Okay. Right there, and they are in there strategizing as I'm speaking. Okay, remember, this is Thomasville officials signed contract with Nello Greco, main proprietor of 5132, and his nephew Anthony J. Loader, and of course the Martinez family, and a lot of second character witnesses in the area. Okay, we are standing by for more physical plan attacks, guys. This is state fraud, mental health hospital, inpatient entrapment, and this is how victims are preconditioned to respond at home, and the consequences are very severe, of course, under doctor's care. All the strategizing that's taking place here will continue within the hospital room setting. This is just to precondition the victims to respond at home. But once the victims are preconditioned and they respond to the same scenarios within the hospital room setting, your medication will be increased. This intensifies the victim's reaction and response. And of course, they're not going to be able to distinguish fact from fiction. One of the main symptoms, paranoia, hallucinations, psychosis. Very serious symptoms, among many others, that the victim will endure. Okay, so Organized Crime Family Process. Please subscribe to Tech Ingredients YouTube channel. Check Ingredients, equal exposure, microwave oven, x-ray machine, or sleeping next to a high power line. All right, let's continue. Let's see what we got. Let's see here. Oh, look at that, firework. We got a firework. So that is a confirmation that they are listening to me. That is a confirmation that they are listening to me. What can I say? Okay, so that's the video, and basically what we're doing is we're sharing information on Facebook, okay? And we're urging the public to do the same. Obviously, this is how they're able to manipulate businesses, remain in control, and silence their arbitraries. And here the identity theft. See that? At the very end, the final phase, bam, bam, and silent, okay? There we go. I guess they're done. One firework and that's it. And of course here, bam, and here. Professional. This is a vital topic that requires more public awareness. See that? So that's what we're trying to engage with the public. We're trying to make sure we protect the community, especially from town association officials and police and the police officers involved in criminal activity and our current mayor, Mary Dominic. Okay? So please be advised and get involved. It is worth your time and effort, guys. And you just heard a confirmation with the fireworks. Okay? And obviously, it's way too early for a firework. 4:23 a.m. in the morning, Sunday morning. Way too early for a firework. Obviously, they can't listen to me. This military-grade technology, high-tech surveillance monitor, Army apparatus, tracking signal scanner device is how they're carrying on this murder plot as far as unsolved murder cases of identity theft Medicaid. Okay? State fraud, mental health hospital, inpatient entrapment. And this is how easily these individuals are manipulated and preconditioned at home to respond. Okay. All right, ex-wife should be arriving shortly, and that's pretty much it. Okay? Create family conflict, emotional distress, anxiety, disbelief, mistrust, anger. It's just one of the many strategizing that takes place based on psychological warfare books, The Art of War, The 48 Laws, The Centennial, Mind Games, Community Gang Stalking, Dog Barking on Command Signal, Fireworks, Car Alarm, and Police Department Provoke Confrontation, Catfish, Bait Focus Follow, Attention Span, Eye Contact, Conflict, Engage. Okay? There's a lot. And it's measured with the scale called social acting equals reaction response that measures the victim's emotional disturbance state of mind. Okay? All right, there we go. I guess that's it. And that's the reason for I have, as you can see clearly, right there. And that is right there.